he's not just a YouTube creator. He's just a content creator in general that brings in the heat. He wants to be a heel, and I'm talking about Andrew Tate, that a guy that's basically
get my
banned.
cigar out.
Oh, you got the cigar. You ready?
Oh,
you a Tate fan? Are you a Tate fan?
I'm gonna let you keep talking. Go ahead.
Oh, you all right. So Andrew Tate, former kickboxer, pretty decent. Saw a few fights. Then he kind of went into the whole money making guru space. I remember the first time I checked out Andrew Tate, not checked him out, but on Twitter, talking about how to make money. And he was selling courses on how to set up a cam girl business, how to get the girls, how to set up. So that was his whole angle. He was always trying to sell programs, pick up game, all that type of thing. And then somehow in the last, I don't know, couple of months, his social media game just blew up, where he was able to get on every major podcast. He was on it, and he was able to get a really lucrative business where he wasn't paying most of these people to do this necessarily. He was saying, hey, listen, I have a program called Hustler University. Take my most viral, stupid videos, or I mean saying ridiculous crap, put them on YouTube, put them on Instagram, put your affiliate link in the description, and I'll give you money. And you know how affiliate links, if they grab it, they basically bringing the business to you. So he has this Discord of thousands and thousands of people, all paying monthly fees to be in the Hustlers University. We're supposed to teach you how to make money. I don't know. I ain't pay, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not in it.
His ability to bring attention is marketing genius. So I have a few clips just to give you an idea of, and it's not the most outrageous stuff, but some of the stuff that he comes out his mouth hole. It's about 2 minutes.
And before you play it, I want to say one thing. He doesn't have social media accounts. Other people, other people, mostly dudes, young males between 18 and 40 or whatever, they put out his information, and that's how he's become the most searched human being in the last year is Andrew Tate. I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but he has the most social media searches is this dude, and he's like came from nowhere. So go ahead, roll.
Yeah, play it. It's about 2 minutes. Let's see.
I have sons who are too busy buying NFTs and saying, oh, I made a little bit of money, and have skinny little arms and go to crypto conventions and be dorks. I will not have nerds as children. I refuse to have a nerd carry the name Tate. If my son is a nerd, one of us has to die, him or me, and I'll challenge him to Mortal Kombat.
Jesus Christ.
I'm home. My 4 wives are sitting there. They've seen on the news there's a new deadly contagion. Andrew, you need to wear a new deadly contagion. I pick up my sword. I am the commander of this house. I decide if there's a contagion. I decide what I do. Be quiet. Cook. Shh. Reality. If you're some fat dude and you just had a heart attack and I don't really know you, you're gonna die. I mean, if you're a really good friend, no, not even if you're a friend, if you're my friend, you just can't be a pussy. Go ahead, a heart attack. Get the fuck up. What's wrong with you? Go to the hospital later. Have a drink. Cigarette, cup of coffee. Back in the game. Fucking having heart attacks near me, little pussy. So none of my friends would even have those kind of problems because I don't roll with fucking little bitches. But if you're some dude I don't know and you need CPR and everyone's looking at me, who knows CPR? Well, me. Help him. No. What? I'm at the guy's house. I've actually known him for a long time. I've known him since school. And we're sitting there chilling. And I was there for about 6 hours. And he's like, yeah, it'd be nice one day. Anyway, I'm hungry. You want something to eat? I was like, nah, I'm fine, bro. So he gets his ass up. He's a full-grown man. And he starts to cook himself something to eat. And everybody knows the age-old adage. Time is what?
Money.
Money. That's right. Time is money. You're going to spend time preparing food. The last thing you should be doing with your time is cooking. I can't think of a lower ROI activity. Ooh, an onion. Well, let me get the onion. I'm gonna start cooking. Fridge. Ooh, an onion and some lettuce. Now, get a knife. Get my knife. Cut my onion. Start to cut my onion. You're broke! You're fucking poor!
So he just says the most outrageous things. Mm-hmm. And it goes from relationships to making money, calling people poor. he has said, "Hey, listen, if you don't have a Lambo, you're poor." Like there's a lot of just
Bugatti,
yeah.
Bugatti.
And it got to a point where, and again, he says a lot of, I think he's definitely, we call it conservative, but it's such too extreme. And then somehow all the major social media platforms have banned him from existing. No Facebook, no Instagram, I guess YouTube. And that's what we want to talk about. Was this guy worth banning? Like, this is not Alex Jones, and I don't agree with any banning off any platform. Alex Jones said at one point that the Sandy Hook shooting was a false flag. It was not real. Still not worth banning, but that's just some weird shit to say. To be like, okay, and now he just lost a lot of money because the family sued him. Yeah. But Andrew Tate saying some outrageous, goofy stuff, is that worth being canceled? Like, tell me about it, Pedro.
I think we have to realize this guy is an asshole to many, okay, but extremely intelligent, extremely
marketing genius,
a marketing genius.
Yeah,
the likes that we've never seen, and the reason for that is because the new age of the digital social media that we're in. Social media, you can make money online like no other time before, and he saw an opening, and he already had some money. These guys used to be broke apparently, but at the end of the day, what you have to understand is people that have money, okay, they figure out a way to separate you from your money so you give it to them. Right. And that's what he did. So I can't knock the hustle. He says outrageous things. He does that. It's an act. The same way a comedian or an actor would say something to get likes and views and recognition and to be on the news or whatever. He does the same thing. He's saying outrageous things. You're broke. You're cutting an onion. It's funny. It's comedy. He's laughing to the bank. Okay. And some of the stuff, I mean, you pick some good clips, but there's a lot, and I've seen a lot.
So many. There's so many. He just says most outrageous things, and he's on every major live stream. He was on Tucker Carlson's show.
Yeah. Oh well, I didn't know that.
That's 4 million views. 4 million people watch that show every night.
And he doesn't always say bad stuff.
No,
the mask stuff. He's a guy that's like, I'm not wearing a mask. Get out of here. I'm not believing your conspiracy. You know, he's not always wrong. And I'm just going to be the guy that you guys can hate. He is not always wrong. He says things that are ludicrous to get your attention, to pull you in. That's what smart guys do.
Yeah.
And then he'll hit you with some things that are like, damn, I don't like how he said that, but he's actually a little bit right. That's all he's done. He has more haters than lovers. But at the end of the day, when you hate somebody and you dislike them, you watch even more. So the people that don't like All In with Ari watch her more than the people that like her. And that's what these people do. Like, they understand that formula.
Like, if you have indifference, that's the worst thing, right? Like, I think Kanye said, at least if you didn't feel nothing, that'll be a problem. At least you feel something. So that's why
people feel something for him, because he makes fun of people. He's talking about, a guy had a heart attack. I told him, I give him a coffee and a cigarette. I mean, it's an absurd thing.
So absurd.
No human being. So if you think that he's actually being real, you're an idiot, number one. And if I offended you, I'm sorry. But if you think that he believes that, he's playing to your idiocracy. Like, you have to understand these people and what they're for, what they're doing. And like, I think he's a fool. I would never be part of a university and buy something.
It's Hustlers University.
But the dude's worth like $500 million in like the last couple of years. So he's doing something right.
Tate has been in the marketing game for quite a while, a few years. I know he kind of blew up, but that takes years of tons of videos. I know he's been on reality TV shows now. He's not a super nice guy. He's been accused of some trafficking issues because of the cam business. So it's like he's, I don't know if that's going to materialize, all alleged.
I don't know.
But he has some issues with the law that may happen. Pierre has a really good point. If Andrew Tate is the Howard Stern from the 90s, yeah, because Howard Stern, how he made his mark was being the shock jock, which is interesting now. He has sold the opposite. He's boring right now. Like,
I know.
He just interviews celebrities. It's not as interesting, because back in the 90s, you would want to listen to Howard Stern.
I mean, he had the number one talk show on AM or whatever radio series or whatever.
Yeah, saw that big deal over there. He was the one talking to porn stars. Like, now it's a little ubiquitous. It's like everyone's, but that was back then when you didn't listen, you didn't know what a porn star was talking about. Interesting, like he had everybody in that show. He was friends with Trump. Like now he's not, but this man Andrew Tate, I think, yeah, he grabbed the imagination by being so outrageous. But then, like I said, he had some good advice about taking care of your body, being making sure you're making some kind of money. Mm-hmm. I don't understand the banning at all, the whole deplatforming situation, and I still have the libertarian view of these are private companies, they can do what they want. But when does that break between freedom of speech? Well, he's not in jail for what he's saying. He's just like, I'm running a business and I don't want you in my business. But then why? Okay, how it goes from YouTube and then Facebook and Instagram? Like, wait, y'all all different companies. Y'all all just coming together? Because it sounds the same as
weird.
Yeah. Alex Jones. Alex Jones at one point got banned from everything. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all all, is this some kind of cabal? Is this some kind of conglomerate? Do you guys all talk to each other in the back rooms with the cigars and stuff and say, yeah, we don't want that guy on our platform anymore? It's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Listen, University.
Listen, I think, if somebody's willing to pay you for it, that's on them. And I think he figured out a way. The guy has casinos in Europe. He bashes America and Western society about how weak we are. Like, yeah. But he's not always wrong. That's the thing. The hypocrisy, once again, we have to understand, like, he's talking about a lot of things that need to be talked about sometimes. And, it's hard to scrutinize somebody that is that successful, that literally came from nothing to something. And I don't know his history. I don't know if he was trafficking women. I know him and his brother had cam girls, and they took advantage of a situation because men are simps. We're scum. We're trash. We like women. And if you're pretty and you look at us, we want to give you our money. Like, he took advantage of that. But on the flip side, some would say, well, these women were also making money. So, like, it's just this whole, like, thing is just so odd to me. Do I think he should have been banned? No. And I would challenge you guys to look at his. He made a video after he got banned and what he's going to do.
But I heard it was really good.
You guys should check that video out. I think that video shows more about his character than the other clips of him being a clown and an asshole do. That's my opinion. That's just one guy's opinion.
Or be entertaining. I mean, that's what you say. Going back to just how the internet works and how these platforms work, you got to be entertaining, right? That's how you get the attention.
You have to be entertaining, and you have to understand. And I've said this before, like on my other channel and with friends. I've told Hannibal this a couple times. If you feel like you have something of value, you have to understand. It's just like in the music industry, right? Music, back in the day, we used to buy CDs and tapes. You'd have the A side and the B side. The A side was the radio friendly, to grab the people's attention, bop your head. Oh, I like this. I like this. Get the masses to understand you and get to know your name. And then the B side is actually you. That's your better song. That's your, it's good. It's more important. But people aren't going to get to the B side if they don't hear the A side first. And unfortunately, that's just how the world works. And I think that he's played that. And do I think he should have been canceled?
He played
or
too
whatever?
much A side. It looks like
he played a lot of A side.
He went too.
He went too A side.
He should have scaled it back a little bit. But you don't know how 1 minute you're doing well, you're making millions of dollars a month, and then the next minute you're like, okay, we don't like that. Rico Dash came with a good comment. He's not always wrong, just flashy headlines. But that's the problem too. People don't look into. They look at the headline, get an emotional reaction to it. Don't watch the whole video or read the entire article.
Yeah.
Another really good comment from Rico Dash, because he made a monopoly against AdSense. He told people to make reaction videos and clips of him to get clicks. It's like counting cards, not illegal, but banned by the House.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
But I can see why they'd be a little annoyed by that, because he's allowing his content without worrying about copywriting or flagging anyone. He's like, listen, I'm gonna help you guys make money, because that's all about is in AdSense. It's not necessarily a pyramid scheme, because I know a lot of people think about it. Maybe it's possible, because if you're only making money by you signing up to do the university, eventually you will run out of people to sign up, and you still got to pay your monthly fee. But it's not a downline, meaning that you don't necessarily get more money by necessarily people having underneath you. Like, it's not necessarily like you have people like employees underneath you. All you're doing is getting people to sign up. Once you get your sign up affiliate fee, that's probably it. There's no more connection to it. But eventually you will run out of people to sign up, but you probably don't lose money. You probably just like, okay, well, I guess the jig is up. I'm not going to pay the monthly fee anymore.
Yeah.
But apparently in this Discord, you are learning all the money-making strategies. There's people in there. I guess you probably get to talk to him a little bit. He's supposed to be teaching you how to be a hustler.
Yeah.
So if anyone in the comment section or in the live right now, are you in the Hustlers University? Let us know. Probably not.
I am not, but you know what? There's some of these people in that Discord or university that are paying for it. Maybe they're making money. If you're getting value from it, then it is what it is. I don't know. It's all about networking in there. Maybe I have no idea.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. You're supposed to learn about crypto. It's one of those programs where I'm just guessing. There's a lot of stuff you could probably get online or other courses, and they compile them all there. So probably like, all right, crypto. Well, you could probably go on YouTube and spend a few hours and learn about crypto, but he's going to tell you, I guess, probably a smaller version or a simpler version of that. That's what I'm assuming. I probably will not.
Some would say that, some would say, people that maybe if you're a conspiracy theorist, let us know in the comments if you are, right? There's some things that I'm a little like that about, but there's some that like, there's we're in this matrix or it's a simulation or this or that. So if you believe in that kind of stuff, he's breaking that. He's breaking the algorithm of things. He's shaking it up. And the people that have power don't like that. So maybe that's why they got together with their cigars, like Hannibal was saying a few minutes ago. And they're like, we got to get this guy out. Because people love it. That's what I'm saying. So anytime you have somebody that like shakes it up and is that radical, also with an amount of success, money, and following, history has shown us in this country, people have been assassinated for that kind of stuff, right? Like it's there. So nowadays, the way to kill somebody is take their social media, right?
50, 60 credit type stuff.
50, 60 years ago, you would just whack somebody or you would bury them alive like Jimmy Hoffa or whatever, right? But now it's like we're going to take your card. We're going to take your social media card because that's the power in society right now, right? So think about the people in America that have been whacked, killed, silenced, right? They used to just go away. Now they might not go away, but they go away on social media. They take away your money because that's how people make money right now if you're an influencer. And that's exactly what he is. He's the number one influencer in the world right now. I don't know if you guys know that. I know a lot of you guys don't know who he is. You're just finding out. He's the number one. He's bigger than Addison Rae, bigger than The Rock. You might not know him on that level, but the guy, his influence is surpassing
We're talking about him, so yeah.
We're talking about him, and we're nobody, right? So I think we have to understand, like he was saying things that were radical and absurd and ludicrous, right? But like he was pissing some important people off, and he was making a lot of other people money. And some people that have power don't like that. That's my opinion. I think he'll wind up coming back in some fashion and doing some good things. I could be wrong. I hope I'm right. But at the end of the day, like I think he has such a following and people are mad that he's got canceled. I don't believe in cancel culture. I just don't. I think there are a few things that if somebody does, you should be held responsible. But I think we got to stop like canceling people just because they don't fit an agenda. Right. Oh, we got to cancel them. I mean, that's ludicrous. Like this is America. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what? I agree. I think the biggest problem that we are dealing with is how the internet has become so centralized. The internet, when we used to do, be honest, when I was 15, which is probably almost 20 years ago. Jeez. The idea crazy, that right? It was every web page is like its own world, their own forum, right? And then Facebook came in and said, "Oh, we're gonna connect all these other websites, so you don't even need to sign up for a new username and password. Just put in your Facebook account, and you can use this service, you can use that service, and Amazon too, and Google, to a point where they basically can effectively silence you because everything is so connected." Amazon basically owns parts of the internet where you have an app and have some servers. They own the servers. They can shut your app down and deal with the Parler app because it goes on Amazon Web Services. They own the servers to power the damn app for you.
And they listened. You guys have bought Amazon Echoes and Dots, and anytime you have a conversation about a refrigerator, the next day, all you do is get refrigerator ads on Google and TV. It's
weird.
all connected. Like,
yeah. But let me ask you a question about influencing. Do you think that's a problem for someone to become successful? I'm not even talking about the canceling part because I think we both agree. I think canceling based on views you don't agree with is not a healthy thing. Is it going to make it worse? You're going to make Andrew even a bigger deal. But the idea, even talking about with All and with Ari, that you need to be so provocative, so over the top just to grab people's attention. Like, is that something new or is it always there? Like, you have to be so ridiculous to get your basic message come across.
I think on some level it's always been there. I think we think now it's worse or greater, but the only reason we think that or know that is because our media that we consume is so much faster now, and all the information we get is quick, and we can know about more things quicker and about people quicker. But I think it's always been there. I think if you look at people that were famous or celebrities from years ago or whatever, like it was always, you had to outdo the next person to get recognized. I think that's always been there. I think that's the human condition. So I haven't lived 100. I wasn't here 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago, but I think our minds have always thought like that. I think our minds have always had that, but I think now it's just easier to see a bigger amount of people use that part of their brain and part of their influence or part of their whatever, that now it's like we just see it. We're consumed every moment of our day just about is about that.
Yeah.
So I think it's just more in our face, but I think it's always been like that.
I hear that. And DoorDash Rick says, if we follow the rules of the apps, we won't be canceled, hopefully. and kind of going back to what I was saying, like my philosophy of you own a business, you are allowed to use the business. But I just don't understand. If I'm running my business, unless like it looks like it's a storefront, like Amazon's a storefront and Facebook and YouTube, and we're all on the same block, and there's one guy breaking into the stores, and then we all come together to stop that guy. Like, but these are multi-billion-dollar conglomerate among themselves. How does he get banned from every single one in a week? Like, what's happening here?
That's weird.
That's weird.
But like I said, you guys can look this up, fact check me, because the internet's a weird place. I've heard things, but it doesn't mean that it's a fact, right? So do your own research, okay? But this guy was getting big, and he was the most searched and talked about human being on the face of the earth the last few months. Do you understand the power that is within that? Like that is, so if you're somebody that believes the world's ran by a handful of human beings, all it takes is a few people to get together and to get rid of somebody like that in the way that they feel like they can. So I don't know. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to discuss. But
you are blowing my mind. I mean, I'm looking at both very provocative people. Going back with Alex Jones, Andrew Tate has said. Problem is, again, so many outrageous things, but there's some things that rang true. Like a lot, there are a few things that Alex Jones were talking about when we thought, or at least me, I thought he was just a weirdo. That kind of came true. Now the problem is he said too many things that were not right, so it's hard to figure out what's true and what isn't. But I think you have some good points there. So
let me ask you this, and I want to ask the chat. I know we're kind of winding down maybe here, but let me put my conspiracy hat on for a second, because this is something that I've actually know a little bit about and I've researched a little bit. I'm not an expert, but John F. Kennedy Jr. Let me ask you guys. I'll ask Hannibal and the chat at the same time. Do you think JFK was assassinated by one human being and one human being only? Do you think that Lee Harvey Oswald was the only person that was involved in him being murdered?
No.
Okay. So that was a president of the United States assassinated in Texas. And many people, myself at least, that was a few people getting together saying, we need to get rid of this man because he doesn't fit our agenda.
Get Patsy to do he was a mastermind. He kind of sounded kind of slow. I remember that little clip. He just looked like dazed, confused. Was he drunk? I don't know. I mean, I mean, we go down the conspiracy rat hole here, and then this channel will not be here. We will be gone, and it'll just be us two, or at least me, my medium ugly ass, trying to log in. And like,
we're not big enough yet. We'll be okay, Hannibal. Nobody cares. We're good. We're just having a conversation.
But I think some of that stuff is true. I mean, yeah, it's really interesting. I guess if you want to be provocative, there's limits to the provocativeness, if that's a word. If that's a way to end things for right now. But yeah, man, you blew my mind there, man.
Limits.
I'm just talking about Lizzo's butt. Now we got to think about this conspiracy
hold on.
stuff.
Can we talk about somebody else? I mean, no. Listen, I don't hate Lizzo, but can we talk about like
she's a big woman? You know what? All right, before we leave, I just wanted to say Lizzo's funny. She is hilarious. So one of my favorite shows, the Eric Andre show. She does a clip in there. Just type in Lizzo and the words "bird up," and she has her flute. It's funny. Like I'm not into music. I'm not a big fan. I don't know too much of her tracks, but a few times she was on that show and she was funny. Like
it was a flute. I said harmonica earlier. You're right. It was a flute. She was.
Oh, okay, yeah, flute. Yeah, the flute. She's in the middle of the street. I don't know how many security. She must have tons because she's outside. I don't think she may be in New York, just being a complete goofball, but it's funny. So like I give her always give her respect.
She's entertaining. She's absolutely entertaining. I mean,
we just don't want to see her butt.
I don't want to. I mean, I'm not gonna like look away and discuss. Like it's cool, it's fine, but like that's not my cup of tea. I'd rather see Ari's butt, but that's just me. I mean, I'm just saying.
Someone said it looked like mashed potatoes. But on that note, guys, I'm sure we're gonna have a lot to talk about next week. Maybe one of us will sign up to Hustlers University. What do you think, Pedro?
I'm good. I'm broke. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm broke too.